All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Renatus J.A.M. My name is Jay Stark, and joining me, as always, is my fearless co-host,
Mr. Merrill Snyder.
Oh no, we've got Merrill in the house again. I thought we put Merrill away last week. What?
No. Yeah, you had to watch last week.
Joe and Merrill
so.
are gone.
Yes.
Gone. So joining me as my co-host is not Merrill, but instead Matthew.
Yes. Some people call me Matt with one T, two T's. Doesn't matter. It's cool. It's still pronounced the same.
Yep. Very good. I like it. That's accurate information. Welcome back, everybody. We have a special guest for this Renatus J.A.M, and I'm super excited, but we'll get to that in just a few minutes. Instead, Mr. Matt with Snyder.
I like the emphasis on the T there. That was great.
Well, yeah, I'm going to give you the American pronunciation.
I appreciate it, but you put 3 T's on it. That's a little too many.
All right. What's new and exciting, my friend?
Well, just got back from the Austin. I didn't go, but we as in Scott and Bob, right?
The mega reunion tour.
From the mega reunion tour in Austin.
Yes.
Aaron's got to adjust my camera now because I move around too much. Sorry, buddy.
Well, way to move around way too much. But I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Ryan Dodge, Marcia Yerian, all the other leaders there in Texas who did a phenomenal job of setting these events up.
I hear they crushed it.
Oh, buddy.
With
packing
the room and setting up the event. And it sounds like it went off great.
You know, Ryan Dodge has always been a consummate professional, always been a hard worker, and this was just one more notch in his belt to show how phenomenal he pulled everything together, how he was able to pack the room with interested people who wanted to learn more.
I heard a rumor.
Uh-oh.
I heard that Ryan Dodge himself had over 50 people registered to this.
Oh, my goodness. That right there. 5-0. I heard the same thing, that he cracked the 5-decade mark.
Way to go, Ryan.
All by his lonesome.
That is so cool.
In the Lone Star State.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Now, I want to give a special shout out to Austin. Austin is actually the city that I was born in.
Yeah.
Austin, Texas.
You had mentioned that.
Yeah, buddy.
How did you make it over to Ohio?
Well, that's a long story.
But we're not going to cover here?
Not really. My family moved. I mean, I was not even 1 year old when
that was
we
a
left.
good story. That had a beginning,
a middle, and an end. All right, what else is new and exciting? Actually, you know what? I want to take this one. This one is near and dear to my heart. This past week, we actually had our very first set of Renatus 10-Day Spartans.
And you say first set. Because there's more to come.
Yes. So last Thursday was the 10th day.
Yes.
And so we had everybody completing their last assignment, and they became the 10-day conquerors, or Spartans, as we like to call them.
We're going to call them Spartans.
Spartans. We are Spartans.
That's right. I get that visual.
That little leg kick thing with Leonidas standing above the pit. And, Yes. So here's the deal, though. We did have, like Matt just mentioned, we are only highlighting a small segment each week of those people that have conquered the 10-day challenge.
That's right. So if you weren't highlighted,
it's taken us a little bit longer to compile all the information. Everybody got so excited that sometimes they didn't post their homework the way that they should have, on the homework post that I kept asking everybody to post on.
Yeah.
But they didn't post there. They decided to post elsewhere
and other places. But, I figured that was the first go around.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
And we had a phenomenal turnout.
Yes.
Now, we had a lot of people who did not complete the 10-day challenge, who got into it and then life happened for whatever reason, and they were unable to complete all 10 days.
Are they ever going to have a second chance?
Nope.
They're done.
Done. Just kidding. That's not the way we roll. That's just a joke. My apologies for anybody who just caught their breath go,
they already clicked off.
Yeah, they're gone. No, we will absolutely have another opportunity to get involved with the 10-day challenge.
Are we talking about when?
When?
Can I talk about when?
Talk about when.
October 19th. The actual one.
The actual
Not
October
the metaphorical
19th.
one. The
That's
actual
right.
October 19th.
That's right. So, for anyone who has not been around the Renatus community for several years, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago that we started using the October 19th date to mean someday.
Yes.
Right?
It meant any day.
And it could, and on the day this country celebrates its independence, that's October 19th.
Yes.
It was
understand the rev. Yeah.
It was a Community. If you've ever seen the TV show Community, they did kind of a short, I don't know, a trailer,
a video or something about it. Yeah.
All about when their next season would be coming back. And anyway, but here's the deal. The good news is we are coming back with the 10-day challenge on the actual 19th of October.
So less than a month away. What is that, like 3 weeks away or something like that?
Yes.
So,
and
maybe not, but maybe 3.5.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to do the math in the comments.
Yep. Yes.
You got it.
Do the math for us. Let us know.
Yes.
But here's what I want to emphasize for everybody, right? The 10-day challenge is not restricted to only those people that have not completed the 10-day challenge.
Well, who gets to do it?
Every ICM ever.
Ever?
Ever.
Even business partners?
They can absolutely
wow.
do the 10-day challenge.
So everyone.
Everybody can.
That's cool.
So it's an open invitation to any active ICM or business partner. You're welcome to get into the 10-day challenge, even if you are one of the proud first 10-day conquerors. Do it again.
What do you get if you do it again?
Recognition as being our first repeat
first
conqueror.
2-time champion.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
I like that.
Now, we're not going to send out the medal twice. We will definitely recognize all those people who continue to complete the 10-day challenge over and over. But day number 10 taught us several important lessons, but there's one in particular I want to highlight right now, which is rinse and repeat.
Yeah, it's on my shampoo bottle. I get it wrong every time.
I don't even want to know what that means. He's like, I'm repeating, but I'm not rinsing, and it's not going away. All right, so here's the deal. Anybody can take advantage of the 10-day challenge, and for those people that have already gone through it, I hope that you do not wait until the next 10-day challenge to take the opportunity to apply everything that you learned. There were so many assignments, so many opportunities to get engaged at a higher level. I mean, we had thousands of posts that came through on that Facebook group.
Yes.
It was awesome.
Wonderful. I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Very, very cool. And so I want to let everybody know we will continue to recognize those initial 10-day conquerors all the way up until the next 10-day challenge.
That's right.
Okay. So,
okay.
Super exciting though. So much fun.
Watch for your name.
Yes, watch for your name, watch for everything that's going on, and we will be sending out those medals starting latest early next week.
Cool.
At the very latest.
Okay.
So, pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got the mega reunion tour that we've talked about. Where's the next stop?
Next stop, I believe, is Denver. Is that correct?
No.
Well, then why'd you ask me?
Well, I thought you knew.
I'm waiting for Aaron. Come on, man.
Yeah, Aaron, where's the... Well,
I need the picture.
He can't put the graphic up because then we reveal our surprise guest.
Oh, yeah. Well, he
can
put it up. He just doesn't have to show the...
This is going to be from Matt's reference. All right, Matt. Now, we just came from Texas, so our next stop would be...
Atlanta.
Yes.
Do they still call it Hotlanta in, I guess it's September 30th, October. It's October. Can you still call it Hotlanta?
About the time of year?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you absolutely call it Hotlanta.
They still call it, it's still hot there?
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah.
And that can be a metaphor for anything you want.
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
Cool. All right.
Yes, so next up is Atlanta. That's September 30th through October 2nd.
Sweet. I just want to make sure that everybody knows Denver's after that. I was close.
Horseshoes and hand grenades, my friend. Horseshoes and hand grenades. All right. Here's what we can do now. We've gone through the Mega Reunion Tour schedule. We've talked about the 10-day challenge and the next opportunity to get engaged there. Now let's bring out our featured guest.
Yes.
He who needs no introduction.
None whatsoever.
None. But I'm going to give him one anyway because I love him that much. All right. So we have with us actually the very first guest that we ever had on the Renatus J.A.M.
That's right.
Our most repeated guest that we've ever had on the Renatus J.A.M.
Because he should be.
Right. I think this is his third or fourth.
I think it's fourth.
Just so
Maybe.
we put this out. This is actually episode 63.
It is.
Yes.
Man, we've
Yes.
been doing this a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're getting old. That's all I'm saying.
I am.
I'm just going to put that out there. Anyway, I am very honored and pleasured every single day to be able to work with Mr. Bob Snyder. And today he is our guest on the Renatus J.A.M. Mr. Snyder, thank you for joining us.
Man, I finally get to come out. I'm just watching you guys banter back and forth, carry on, do your thing. Talking about, when, the Renatus Spartan medallions are going out. And it's like early, mid, later next week. Why didn't you just say October 19th? I mean, come on.
Oh, you know what? I
That's
should have said that.
true.
That would have been much better.
Cause
That
a
way
lot
you're
of
covered with
confusion.
any day. It's whatever special day you've got.
There you go.
This is a lot of fun, and I am thrilled to be here. And I want everybody to know there. And just, just with total and complete transparency, there's a reason why I am their most repeated guest. It's because I office right up there. And whenever they need somebody, they go, "Hey, what are you doing? Good. Come on down to the studio."
That is not true.
That is not true at all. In fact, the reason why you're our most repeated guest is because you're also our best guest.
That's right.
Oh man, they're laying it
That's
on
right.
thick. Okay.
Nah.
Look,
No,
we
no,
just
no.
do the two of us if there's no
Yeah.
guest.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm thrilled to
It's
be with
fine.
you. I am. I am
Yeah.
absolutely thrilled to
Yeah.
be with you. And
We
I'm looking
needed
forward
you.
to our session because you know what? We got good stuff to talk about.
We do. So I want to ask this question. We have seen a massive influx in activity, in people getting out there and making the change that they wish to see in the world, and in being that change, whether that's through the mega reunion tour, the 10-day challenge. I want to know from your perspective, from you, why did you start the 10-day challenge? Why did you do it now?
You know what? Sometimes timing is associated to just what feels right. It's in your gut. And what we've had is this wonderful worldwide pandemic that has limited individuals' ability to get out there and share our message. It's also, I think, kind of people took a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
Right.
Some of them are still on break. It's not spring break. It's summer break. It's not winter break. It's not fall break. They're just on break. And who knows when that break will end.
Yeah.
So, the 10-day challenge is just a way to get everybody back into the mode of money-making activity. I mean, it's see the people tell the story, build for events, follow up, understanding the compensation plan, what this incredible business can do for folks, why real estate rocks. And what you've got to do if you're going to drive individuals to take action is, well, you need to dangle a carrot. You got to, give them assignments on a daily basis that they can follow and they can complete. And then you've got to be able to create urgency through a deadline. And a challenge, a 10-day challenge, allows for all of that. And I got to tell you guys, what we've seen has been so inspiring. I am just so proud of our team and the number of individuals who have become Renatus Spartans.
Yes.
You mentioned a number of reasons why we decided to parcel out the number of new Spartans each week up until the next 10-day challenge starts. One of the reasons why I wanted to do it that way is because I wanted to give more attention to a smaller group each week to give them the recognition that they deserved.
Yeah.
So that was a big part of it. But people they're excited. They're out there making things happen. Folks that have never done a private Zoom meeting have now done a private Zoom meeting. Individuals who have never, ever done a private business reception have now completed that and know what that is all about. And when they do it the first time, they kind of go, huh, well, that wasn't that tough. I could do that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, individuals who haven't done one-on-ones, they haven't done follow-up meetings themselves. They haven't made their list and started to contact their list. They haven't identified their top 10 in the past. All of these activities are a part of the 10-day challenge. And now that they've accomplished that, it goes back to, rinse, repeat.
Yes.
Rinse, repeat. And Matt understands that because now he's read on the back of the shampoo bottle, those specific instructions.
It's just this endless cycle.
It is an endless cycle. It's a loop.
Yeah, it's a loop.
It's a loop. It's almost like Groundhog Day, if anybody remembers the Bill Murray film there. But That's the beauty of it. And what we've seen is not just an incredible amount of activity stirred up, but sales coming in, cash orders coming in, billing orders coming in,
Yes.
individuals getting paid. I mean, we had the biggest payday for Renatus yesterday, because yesterday's Tuesday on the commission run.
Yep.
So we had the biggest payday we've had in probably 5 months, 6 months.
Yep. Yeah.
It was huge. It was fantastic. I love seeing that amount of money going out to the field to get people compensated for the good work that they're doing.
Getting paid.
Yes.
And it's all because they're doing money-making activities.
Isn't it amazing how there's a correlation between the two?
Direct.
Weird, huh?
Direct.
You know, there's
Yes.
that don't confuse activity and accomplishment, right?
Yes.
A lot of people confuse being busy with being accomplished.
Yes.
I
Exactly.
I have to say, so according to Jay, the dictionary according to Jay, under brilliance, it states, this is Jay's dictionary.
Jay's
right?
dictionary.
Jay's dictionary. Brilliance is taking a complex subject and breaking it down in simple to understand concepts that everybody can understand.
Yeah, I like that.
And the way that I look at the 10-day challenge is it did exactly that.
Yeah.
The same concepts that you've talked about for years. From the very, very foundation of Renatus, you've talked about these things. And you broke them down into small, daily workable pieces that people could implement, they could apply, they could see the direct result from their activities.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite posts in the 10-day challenge came from people who said, I reached out to these people, I have this many people scheduled, and I've got my first PBR PZM lined up.
Right.
And then they come back afterward and they go, it was incredible. They're interested. They're this, they're that. And it's just so phenomenal because one of our favorite taglines in Renatus is seeing the business go from your head to your heart.
Yeah.
And people finally have understood what they can take and apply day in, day out to create success. In fact, I love a simple brilliance that came out of this was your definition of sales.
Oh, my definition of sales. You know what? All I was doing is I was taking a look at different images that I could use for the 10-day challenge PowerPoint slides, and of course I tripped over in one of my searches the old definition of insanity. It's doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different results. And I thought, ooh, sales is doing the same thing over and over and over again, but with an expected result.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yes. I mean, results, when you get the system down, results are predictable, and that's what's beautiful about it. So I love it.
That's what I love about it too. I'll tell you the other thing that really it was kind of moving for me, during the 10-day challenge. It wasn't just the engagement and all of the comments on Facebook Live. It wasn't just, the individuals who are posting homework and making things happen. It was the fact that many of our ICMs around the country engaging in money-making activities were now forcing their 1-star, 3-star, and 5-star to engage in money-making activities because they were calling them up saying, you got to work this top 10 list with me.
Yes.
That's
yes.
right.
You got to do this PZM for me.
Thing.
You got to do this PBR with me,
Yes.
right? You got to do these things with me. And individuals were like, what's a PZM? What's a PBR? What the heck says 10-day or 10 top 10 list, and suddenly they've got to dig into the content to figure out what in the heck their people are doing so they know how to provide support. I loved that. So we can say that a lot of times our leaders push ideas and activity from the top down. This is one of those things where a lot of that was pushed from the bottom up, and I was thrilled with it.
Oh yeah. I got more than one text from somebody saying, Jay, what's a PBR? What's a PZM? And I'm like, really? You're not engaged in the 10-day challenge? What?
Yeah. Here's the link to the video.
Yeah,
and here's the other thing. Because of the success that the 10-day challenge has created in conjunction with the Mega Reunion Tour and the other things that we're doing, but because of the success that we can link directly back to the 10-day challenge, now what you've got is a whole lot of awareness out there in the marketplace where you got a lot of people going, when's the next one? How do I get into it? How can I complete it? How can I become a Renatus Spartan? Because I am not going to get caught off guard again.
Yep. I've got people that have been hitting me up for the videos, and I'm like, I can't. I actually asked Jay, I was like, can I send video? No.
No.
Gotta
Verboten.
do October 19th.
That's right.
That's right.
You know, one of the brilliant elements of the 10-day challenge is giving people that deadline to work into.
Mm-hmm.
So the videos were only available for 23 and a half hours.
That's right.
Right? We made them available at 7:30 in the morning, and then by 7 o'clock the next morning, they're down. Gone. Because we need that deadline for people to work up against.
Yep.
Why is it that as humans, we always work best up to a deadline?
Well, it's because we've got ADD and HDHD, and that's kind of one of the byproducts of that, as I have learned from one of our colleagues who we'll be highlighting before long. But I got a great lesson from one of the leaders in our business. She talked a lot about that very thing. She says because Type A personalities, driven individuals, folks that are of a certain mindset, many of them have difficulty staying focused.
Yeah.
But the minute you put a deadline in place, it creates urgency that they'll work into because it helps to feed the adrenaline that they're constantly looking, to boost them.
Yep.
Great comment, Matt.
Yep.
Great comment. Yep.
Well, I'm just the resident ADD professional over here, so I can tell you that's the way it works.
Mr. Left Turn right there. Yes. So the 10-day challenge obviously has created a lot of momentum, and like you said, people are all excited to get involved with the next one and make sure that they don't miss out again.
Yes.
So for anybody who missed out the first time, don't miss out the second time. Don't let anyone else get in front of you. Make sure that you get out there right now. So let's talk a little bit before we move on. Let's talk a little bit about the book Building an Empire.
Hey, Building an Empire. I got to tell you, I've promoted this to the pack. I've promoted it to the pit team. I've promoted it to other select individuals that have had conversations with them. There's a book out there. It was written by a fellow by the name of Brian Carruthers. I've never met Brian before. But it was recommended by one of our leaders inside of the business. He says, "Hey, you need to read this because this guy sounds like you, right?" And I read the book. Actually, I put it on Audible. I think I've been through it 3 times since then. I'm constantly got individuals saying, "Bob, write a book. Write a book," and I keep putting it off in lieu of other more pressing activities that I need to be involved with.
Sure.
But I have created outlines at different times of what that book would present, what that book would contain. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to Build Your Empire by Brian Carruthers, and I'm going, oh my goodness, I don't need to write a book. This guy wrote the book. I mean, I really don't need to write the book. I just need to refer his book, because with very, very, very few variations, in philosophies and business building ideas, this guy flat nailed it. I mean, he does exactly what I have always done. He does exactly what I have watched every other 7- and 8-figure income earner in the industry do for years. I mean, I've been in this business now for 37 years, I think it's been now.
Wow.
And over that period of time, I'm here to tell you, everything that is in that book is what I did to make money, what I saw other leaders do to make money, what I saw, happen to create duplication within an organization so that individuals could, really start to get the leverage of a business. It's all there. And when, I was crafting and putting together the 10-day challenge, because we've been talking about the 10-day challenge for months now, right?
Yeah. Yep.
All of a sudden, I'm putting together the outline for the 10-day challenge, and there's a lot of things that I am putting in there that Brian, of course, in his book, really emphasized. And I thought, hey, you know what? Done deal. Mm-hmm. See, a PBR, I mean, a private business reception to me was always just a home meeting. It was a house meeting, or it was a meeting at a clubhouse, or some small venue or an office or whatever else. I like that private business reception.
Yeah.
And certainly heard those terms used for years, but I would encourage every single one of you out there. You want to know how to build a big business. You want to know how to get duplication in your team. You want to know how to create, additional streams of income, how to empower the people in your organization, how to make sure that you are teaching and leading and onboarding these people correctly. You got to get the book, and you need to read it. You can download it off of Audible, and I would encourage everybody to do it.
So I got a question. What would you say to people that think that, advertising's changed in this fast-paced world we live in, and kind of tech has changed things and changed the game, so to speak? What would you say to that?
Squirrel. And you know what? And the reason why I kind of make light of it is because I've fallen prey to that as well.
Yeah.
In an effort to try to create better leads online, to get lead generation dialed in, to create more automated messaging and so forth and follow up. In an effort to do all of those things, sometimes we stray away from the proven activities that work and have never stopped working.
Right.
Isn't it interesting that the more things change, the more they stay the same?
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
And here we are, once again, watching that unfold before us.
Yeah.
How long have I been seeing the people telling the story, building for events, following up, and explaining the compensation plan? 37 years. 37 years.
Worked all 37.
How long have I been
Right.
making a list and checking it twice? How long have I been, identifying the top 10 list or the top 25 list? How long have I been doing home meetings or private, business receptions? 37 years.
Yes, you have.
I mean,
I can testify to that. At least for
right.
35 of them.
At least for 35 of them, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yep.
And network marketing actually means marketing to your network. I hope you guys got that. Network marketing is marketing to your network or networking to market.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the two. So why not embrace what works rather than constantly try to find other ways that don't work that we somehow think are going to work out better? And the 10-day challenge has once again illuminated the fact that we need to get back to the basics. We need to get back to giving our epic presentation, education, property, income, and community, and stop experimenting while we're out there building a business.
Love it. Love it. Love it. So you just mentioned the epic presentation.
Yes.
What can people expect through the Mega Reunion Tour? If you haven't been to their city yet, what can they expect?
Well, you know what? Here's what we're doing with the Mega Reunion Tour, because MEGA, as you know, is an acronym that was very artfully crafted by this gentleman right over here.
Right there.
That's right, Mr. Matt Snyder.
It was an epiphany. I don't know where it came
It
from.
was. We're sitting around in our Wednesday management meetings. We're going over a number of agenda items, and this is going to be a mega event. I think I said something like that. And Matt just goes, "Yep, make events great again." I thought, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that. Make events great again.
Well,
Yes.
it just clicked in my head. It sounded like some kind of popular thing. I can't remember. Somebody said it somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I don't know either.
So what can people expect?
What can they expect? Well, on Thursday night, we're going to do the epic presentation. So that's our introductory meeting.
Right.
And the epic presentation, as we cover those four powerful topics right there, is that, Scott Rowe is with me in each of these cities as we're traveling around the nation. I'm thrilled to have him with me. It's pretty darn nice when each person is an independent contractor and you kind of go out and say, hey, listen, we want to put together this kind of an event. Well, Scott's got business all over the U.S., so he's the first one to put his hand in the air and said, Bob, I'm going with you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right on. I got a traveling buddy. And Scott is such a great presenter. But in talking about it, he says, what do you want me to do and how do you want me to do it? And I said, I really would like to get back to basics and give the epic presentation. He says, Bob, I will do whatever you want me to do. I said, then you're going to intro and you're going to provide, your testimonial and keep me on track. But I'm going to do the presentation. And I want to do the presentation so that I can get back in touch with my roots, because I've done thousands of them over the years.
Yep.
I want to make sure that I know how the crowd is reacting and be able to be there to hear the stories from our people.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the epic presentation. Mr. Rowe is assisting me. Matter of fact, in Chicago, I did it all by myself. In Austin, I pretty much did it by myself, but Scott introed and provided, testimonial.
Yep.
As we go forward into Atlanta, I've asked Scott to help me with the compensation plan explanation, because he does such a phenomenal job. He just makes, it's so simple and understandable.
Yeah.
So we're going to tag team the presentation going forward. I'm going to do the majority of the epic presentation. He's going to do the comp plan side of it. We're going to involve local leadership in there to host and introduce and introduce us to testimonials, which, by the way, I got to tell you, we used 3 live testimonials in Austin. It was phenomenal. The stories they shared, it was like, man, it was like
It's
food to
impactful.
my soul.
It is.
You know?
It's what what really it makes it go from here to here, head to
time.
your heart, right?
Listen, we had a retired military vet down there, Keith, who was talking about how he had a business. After he got out of the armed services, he was like, well, what am I going to do? So he formed a security company. And in creating the security company, he said, what I did is I created a big ball and chain. He said, pretty soon I've got over 100 employees, and when one of them doesn't show up, I got to show up in their place.
Oh, yeah.
So he's constantly the odd man out, he's working all day long, and then he's working the evenings too, 6-7 days a week. He wasn't seeing his family. He wasn't happy in his work. And he finally got to a point where he said, you know what? Can't do that stuff anymore. I got to be smarter about this. He found real estate. He found Renatus. And he's out there cranking deals right and left, and has, gotten rid of his business and moved on to other things where he can have greater lifestyle. He shared his story. And then there was Veronica. I got to tell you, this little gal, I mean, her husband is also, serving our country and in one capacity or another. She wants to retire him. So she got involved with Renatus. She's got 7 short-term rentals, and she's got a fix and flip she's right in the middle of right now. I mean, this is a gal that, is taking care of her kids, taking care of her home, and still able to do this on a part-time basis to where she's got supplemental income coming in because of what she's learned in Renatus.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was outstanding. And then, of course, Ryan Dodge. Do you know Ryan Dodge is up to 212 fix and flips now?
No, I didn't realize it was that many.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan's always been, a solid performer and top income earner with us on the marketing side of the business. Yep. But his real estate holdings, 212 fix and flips he's got done now.
No idea.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. That's amazing. That is
awesome.
amazing.
That's awesome. But it's cool to hear Keith's and Veronica's story, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was a riot.
I met Keith down in Cabo. That couldn't have happened to a better guy, right?
Solid guy.
I love that guy. He's fantastic.
Right,
It was good to meet him.
Oh, I failed to answer the full question though, didn't I? I got excited about the testimonials.
You did get excited.
Because that's like food to my soul, man. I mean, that really is. I just so excited about the success stories that I heard. On Friday, so the next day on Friday, we do a leadership training where we pull all the leaders in the market together and spend some quality time with them, teaching them advanced strategies, techniques, and ideas. We do a social event that evening where we can get out and have fun together. And every market is a little bit different in what we want to do, but it's just the glue that kind of holds us all together, so we're reminded as to why we want to be together. And then on Saturday, Scott Rowe and I tag team the day in terms of training. I do a lot of training, and I take a lot of my training from the 10-day challenge, because I want a congruent message going out that this is what you do when you get a brand new ICM started. Yeah. If you are a brand new ICM, this is what you do. If you're an existing ICM who hasn't done these things, this is what you do. I mean, if you're a really old ICM who hasn't done these things, then you got to do these now, right? Yeah. And how this is the way. And that's going to be I am going to pound this message home across this country for years to come so that individuals don't stray into new ideas, new thought processes, new techniques, new technology that are just going to take them out of money-making activities.
Yeah.
So, I love talking about all the inspirational quotes that come out of sports, right? Bruce Lee, favorite quote, right? I would rather fight the man who's practiced 10,000 different kicks than the man who's practiced one kick 10,000 times. Right. Tell me a little bit. I know that you were involved with martial arts for a while.
Yeah.
And you went and found the very best guy that you possibly could to train with. And what was his philosophy?
You know what? Sensei Toshio Osaka. And I got to give you a little backstory because, man, what an outstanding, individual and teacher. He was somebody who was All Japan 3 years in a row. He later went on to coach teams at Nichidai University to a number of world titles. And then somebody saw him doing an exhibition match in Japan, and they sponsored him to come over to the United States here in Utah. And from that point forward, he set up his dojo and started teaching. He had the best in the state as far as students go. But let me tell you, his philosophy was really simple. He wasn't going to teach you how to do a triple backflip with a somersault and a twist to do a a kick to the nostril with a toe.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't any of that stuff going
Right.
on in our class, man. He says, never turn your back to anybody, for one thing. But the other thing was, he says, listen, this is the way, right? It was punch, kick, block, punch, kick, block. It was over and over and over again, just punch, kick, block. None of the fancy stuff. And he created champions because just like Bruce Lee's quote, I'd rather, fight the man that's practiced 10,000 different kicks than the man who's practiced one kick 10,000 times. Yeah, that was Sensei Osaka. And he taught me a valuable lesson that has kind of been the foundation for my life, is that, exclude a lot of the things that are just going to be a distraction. Focus on the basics, refine those to perfection, and you will find success.
I love it. I love it. I love the simplicity of it, which in my opinion is brilliance.
Yeah.
And I love that this is the way. If you are looking to create the success you wish to see, this is the way.
Right.
If you're looking to maximize your opportunity with Renatus, this is the way. And honestly, if you're able to repeat the same steps over and over that will lead you to success, then this is the way. This is where you need to be to learn. If you are somebody who gets distracted easily, you need to learn to focus that energy so that you can learn. This is the way.
Right.
I love what we do, man. I love just how powerful that concept is. And it sounds so simple, right? These simple little steps every single day, repeated over time, will take you further than you could have ever imagined.
Yep.
Yeah.
It draws a parallel for me. I can't but help and think of the 12 steps, of Alcoholics Anonymous. Whenever we go talk about this, because I've over the years, I myself am in recovery, if you haven't heard, but I see people oftentimes, deviate. At some point, there's some new thing out for recovery or addiction or something. And those 12 steps are what get people healthy over and over again.
Yeah.
And I love it. And when people stop doing those 12 steps, they get sick again. And then they go back to those 12 steps and they get well again. And I've seen that happen so many times in my life. I can't but help. And, those 12 steps were created in the, what was it, like the 30s? Anyways.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
A long time back.
ago, right? Oh, that doesn't apply today. Nope. They are universal principles that will always apply. And every time you talk about, the basics, right? Those steps, the 10-day challenge, everything that was covered in there, writing a list of names, talking to people, it just always resonates with me because they're just universal principles that'll always work, regardless. So,
And they do.
Yes.
They do. Every single time I have a conversation with somebody and they're like, oh, man, you know what? The network marketing world does so many antiquated things. They're just so outdated. I'm going, well, obviously, you've never made money in the business.
right.
Right? And probably never known anybody to make money in the business because if you had, they'd be at great odds with that statement right now. So
they would. And I've had the personal advantage of seeing it over time, seeing people who make money. Then they come up with some new cool idea that sounds great on paper. We're going to make millions. And then they go off and try and do it, and it doesn't work. And then they come back to just those basic principles.
right.
And they start making money again. And I could name multiple individuals that have done that. I'm sure you've got probably hundreds that over the years.
Yep.
Yeah.
But, it's just, it's the way.
This is the way.
Yeah.
Well, so we're going to just continue to reinforce this, and I'm thrilled to be in all these different cities across the country for the next few months so that we can reinforce that message, and also that we can create events for them to attend.
Yeah.
Here's another thing that happened during the pandemic is that individuals either got COVID lazy or they got COVID comfortable. It's like,
Well,
you know
they
what?
took the vacation mandate too seriously.
And the social distancing mandate too
A
seriously.
little too seriously.
it's like, hey, I'm gonna hunker down in my house, or I'm gonna go to the backwoods of Montana, and I am not gonna see another human
That's
being for
right.
as long as possible, right?
Yeah.
But one thing that has really transpired of this, just in the first 2 cities that we've been to, is the reuniting of the Renatus family.
Yes.
People didn't know how much they missed it until they were able to enjoy it again.
Yeah.
And in that moment, that's when there's a conversion that takes place where it's like, I'm not going to miss another Thursday night. I'm going to make sure that I'm here for the intensives. I'm going to start going to property tours again. And I've told our leaders across the nation, I said, the Mega Reunion Tour, you cannot stream this. You cannot broadcast this.
Right.
Now, we did allow Chicago some latitude there because they've got so many different markets that they work with. They wanted to send it out so people could watch because many of these cities are in their business, and
Right.
they wanted them to see what was going on. But as far as the rest of the country goes, listen, if you don't attend the Mega Reunion Tour live in person, if your butt is not in a seat, you are not getting what we are putting down.
Yep.
Yep. And the events that you don't attend can't help you.
Exactly.
Oh, where have I heard that before?
Yep. I'm just.
I don't know.
I read his book.
Hyper focusing on the small and simple things, realizing that true change and true success is had by applying daily disciplines and making them non-negotiable. That's the true path to overcoming just unbelievable odds and seeing progress that you never otherwise could have made.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, it was it Mahatma Gandhi that said that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step?
Or Buddha.
Buddha, Gandhi.
One of those. Yes. But
You know, so
yeah.
let me make this a little more modern. Okay, we've got James Lawrence, the Iron Cowboy,
Yes.
decides that he's already done the 50 marathons or 50 Ironman triathlons. I got to say this right. 50 Ironman triathlons in 50 states in 50 days. Right.
Yeah.
He upped his game this year and decided, I'm going to do 100. I'm going to do 100 Ironman triathlons in 100 days.
Right.
And he actually has done a few interviews. He was able to complete it, and he's done a few interviews. And he says, "Yeah, you know, some of those days I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Like they're gone." But he remembers one experience as he was getting near the end.
Yeah.
He's on, I believe, his triathlon number 94. And at each step of each event, people would do it with him, right? People
Right.
swam with him, they would bike with him, run with him. And so it's always swim, bike, run. That's the order of the triathlon. And so he's on the run. And there's a guy running with him. And he looks over at him and he goes, "Oh, James, 5 left." And James goes, "What? No, 3. The guy's going, "Wait a second, 94, 100 minus, once you finish
carry the
94,
one."
right?" And he goes, "James, 5 left." And James looks over and goes, "No, 3.
Yeah.
At this point, this guy's thoroughly confused. And he goes, "James, this is number 94. Once you've got this one done, you've only got 5 left." And James says, "No, I only have 3 more miles, then I'm finished today."
Yep.
He had learned to hyper focus on the task directly in front of him.
Right.
He allowed no other distractions. And in doing that, was able to complete these 100 triathlons in a row.
Right.
And actually he did 101.
Right.
He decided that he would, after he had completely broken down physically, completely just absolutely pushed himself to the limit, he decided
And accomplished the goal.
He's goal.
Done.
He decided he would do one more.
Why did he do one more?
He did one more by himself to prove that even after you have given everything you've got, even after you have gone as far as you can possibly go, you should always get up and try to do it one more time.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I watched this same interview. It was so fun to watch.
Great
right?
interview.
Yeah.
Great interview. But the concept of learning to hyper focus on the task immediately in front of you and allow nothing to distract you, that is what guarantees success.
Well, I got to tell you, man, it was a lot of fun to get to know him and to just be around his spirit, because he's so driven and so competitive. I mean, he's got the intestinal fortitude to do whatever it takes,
Yeah.
and to make things happen. That's inspirational. But I'll tell you what, I am equally proud of and equally impressed with our Renatus Spartans, because they went out and they did it. And we didn't make it easy on them.
No,
I mean, we didn't make it easy on them. They had to get stuff done. They had to get it done fast.
it was work.
But once you've done something, isn't the second time easier?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
And then, the third time easier than the
Absolutely.
second?
Yes.
I want to be able to help people understand the value of creating that kind of repetition in their life with successful actions and principles. That's one of the things we've really focused on in Renatus.
That's what I love about Renatus.
Oh, amen to that.
Yeah.
Our mission is to empower 1 million entrepreneurs to go out and be the change they wish to see in the world, to be able to reach that level of success. And you're giving them just one more tool.
Well, it is a great tool. It's a fantastic tool, and it's a tool that's always been at their disposal. All we did is repackaged it and put a date on it.
Yep.
And that made all the difference. So I'm proud of you for the great things that you're doing, but there's a lot more in you. So you got to, keep your foot on the gas, because the sales that have been driven just in the last couple of weeks have been fantastic. And what I'm seeing is, like I said, a reconversion to gathering and getting comfortable being together again.
Yes.
So that's a big part of it. Live events with live attendees. What a novel concept.
Awesome concept. I didn't
Well-
realize how much I missed it.
Yeah.
Right. As a introvert, pandemic hits, we stopped doing in-person events, and for like a week it was like, okay, right? But after a while, it's like I really missed it, and I didn't realize how much I missed it until actually it was the Best Estate. When we went to the Best Estate award ceremony,
Right.
That was cool, and that was fun, and I was like, I miss these kinds of award ceremonies that we do. It made me nostalgic and long for the national.
It did.
But then Cabo and getting together with our people, I missed that so much. It was so cool to get together. I absolutely loved it. That was such a good trip.
Yeah,
So,
it was.
yeah.
It was more food to the soul.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I love to tell you that Renatus has changed my life and has changed the lives of my children, my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And now it has become evident that it is changing so many other lives as well.
Yeah.
You have these other people that are now going out there and doing what they previously could not or have not done. Their lives are changing because of the path that you've laid in front of them.
Wow.
So on behalf of myself, on behalf of all of our conquerors, on behalf of the Renatus Nation, Mr. Snyder, thank you.
Well, you're welcome with this caveat, because with the same emphasis that I have to, that I want to be able to place on gratitude for that level of appreciation, I got to put gratitude back out to every single person, because I couldn't do this thing without you. This is a team effort.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't do this. I didn't build this. I didn't make this whole thing happen on my own. It's an incredible effort that is unified by people, not just in this office, but all across the country.
Yes.
So, we are Renatus. You are Renatus. And I am thrilled to be a part of this movement.
And Renatus rocks.
Yes.
I tell you what, Mr. Snyder, thank you so much for being our guest once again. Always fantastic having you here. And we will bring you back. You will always be our most frequently attended guest, because we just love having you that much.
And I'm right there in my
And
office.
you're right
there.
there.
Available.
Yes, convenience may sometimes play a factor. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. On behalf of myself and Mr. Matt Snyder, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Aaron Peterson, who is always doing such a fantastic job taking care of us. Don't forget, the reason why Renatus rocks is because of the people that are associated with it. Have a great week. Renatus rocks.